Hi, Mel. How are you today? It's lovely to have you on.
Hi, Kelly. It's lovely to be here. I'm very well, thank you.
We're so happy to have you on the Arc Education NZ and as one of our very well qualified and well thought of Davis facilitators. I'm going to let you tell us a bit more about yourself and about what you do and your passion behind that.
Okay, well, thank you for having me. This is a real honor and a privilege to be here. Um, I I wear a couple of different hats, and it probably would help people to kind of know the two hats that I wear, the two main hats that I wear. So one is Director of Training and Licensing for the Ron Davis Autism Foundation. So I run the entire training program and train facilitators and anyone actually who's interested in the Davis autism approach. So that's one of my hats that I wear. Um, and then the other hat is my business, my own personal business called Incandescent. And with that business, my primary focus is empowering women, neurodivergent women, to thrive really in life. So whether it's women who are autistic or ADHDers, might have dyslexia, any kind of neurodivergence. Um, I work with the Davis programs one-on-one with those individuals.
Awesome. Actually being dyslexic and having been through the program myself as an adult, I can
Mhm.
highly recommend it. It has totally changed my life. Yeah,
That's
definitely.
wonderful to hear, Kelly. I think you would agree with me that the beauty of the Davis programs is that they really just get the way that neurodivergence works and really works with the strengths that you have.
Absolutely. It. I mean, I've done always done okay without it before, but I remember when I read Ron Davis's book in 1994, I think it was when it first came out. I was
Mm-hmm.
absolutely mesmerized because it just described me down to a T. And at the time, I just remember thinking, oh, how else do people think? Because when I read that dyslexics think in pictures, I was like,
Mm.
doesn't everybody think in pictures? Because I don't think in words. That really astounded me that nobody else, well, not nobody else, but neurotypical people think predominantly in words. And I was just
Mhm.
absolutely gobsmacked because I have a continuous movie in my mind.
Mm.
So
Which is one of your beautiful gifts, right? It brings with
absolutely.
it so much creativity and so many strengths with your ability to think outside the box and problem solve and be amazing, in all sorts of areas. But I think, with it also does bring its challenges, and that's where if someone is experiencing challenge, that's where the Davis programs can help because it not only enhances the strengths, but it helps you develop the ability to overcome the challenges without actually losing any of your gifts or your strengths or anything that makes you beautifully you.
Yes.
And that's what I love about it, that the programs don't aim to change you at all,
No,
but
no.
really enhance what you've got and help use your strengths to overcome the challenges you face.
Absolutely. And that
Mm.
was definitely my experience with the program. Um,
Mm.
Mel, I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about the autism program because we've
Mhm.
heard a fair bit about the dyslexia program, but the autism program is less well known with the
Mhm.
Davis set of tools, if that makes sense. So, yeah, if you could tell us
Yeah,
a little bit about that. How is it
absolutely.
different? And
yeah, and it's understandable that it is lesser known because it has been around for a shorter period of time. It was developed well after the dyslexia program was developed by Ron. So Ron Davis, who did develop the Davis programs, is himself autistic and dyslexic. And, you know, he through his beautiful journey of moving through, you know, being severely autistic into sort of coming through that, what he would call his void of autism, and into this physical world, which he initially found incredibly chaotic and overwhelming and confusing, you know, and moving through that and kind of being able to find a way to navigate this world and actually be realized to actually be a genius, you know, in an IQ sense. He was able to kind of wrap up the best parts of his learning and his experience and work with a team of professionals to put together this program to help other autistic individuals to also be able to be fully present in this world and navigate it with without the uncertainty and the confusion and the anxiety that often comes. So it's really I know a lot of people, when they think of autism, they think of challenges with social skills and you know, relationships and behaviors and things like that. The Davis autism approach doesn't aim to fix, you know, it's not a behavioral program. We're not aiming at fixing people's you know, the way they behave or things like that. But what we're aiming to do is to help someone you know, move through the kind of like the developmental stages, I guess, that a neurotypical person would move through in order to help them understand these fundamental life concepts that can sometimes just be just not quite complete, or they might just be a little bit confused. And they're just really, really simple ideas or concepts that we explore in the program. Things like things as simple as cause and effect. You know, connect those two things. Looking at the idea of different types of sequences.
Sequential thinking.
Sequential thinking, yeah. Looking at what is order, what is disorder, you know, and how can you create order out of disorder in life, and looking at things also like emotion, motivation, and we even look at it at a concept of responsibility and what is responsibility, and if I'm not taking responsibility for something in my life, why am I not, you know, and just kind of being really curious about these concepts and how they all kind of fit together like a big, I guess, like a big puzzle in a way, and we can put the concepts together and all of a sudden you can be in the world in a way that's just so much more easeful.
Yes, absolutely. The behavior, as far as I understand autism, the behaviors are a symptom of what's happening underneath, which is usually confusion and fear, because of the inability to sort the chaos out that we do every day, and an oversensitivity rather than an undersensitivity, because when people think that they don't have the social it's like a deficit, they see it as a deficit, but it's actually too much of something. Not being able to filter out every sensual thing that we are absolutely bombarded with every waking moment of the world. They see it all, they feel it all, they hear it all, and that must be an incredible burden, really, in every sense, you know. So
that is certainly the experience of many individuals that, you know, our facilitators work with, and also I think you know, we're working with individuals, and this is a lot of you know, there's a misconception around this too, is that people believe that autistic individuals don't have much empathy, when in fact it's actually the opposite.
Absolutely.
You know, so we're working with beautiful individuals who just can really feel the energy or the feelings of other people, and they, you know, take them on, and it's really, really difficult to navigate the world in that way,
Yes.
of being able to kind of separate yourself out as a, I am me, this is where I start and finish, these are
Yes.
my feelings,
And
they
this
belong
is
to
you.
me.
Yeah.
And you know, this is how, you know, and this is kind of how we help them unpack the world and just understand it, rather than kind of having to learn any sort of rote set of behaviors or anything
Yes.
like that.
Yeah.
Just really a framework for understanding the world. And we do it through our beautiful medium of modeling clay that we would do in a dyslexia program.
Yes.
We actually make the concept, this abstract concept, and bring it into a concrete form as clay
Yes.
on the table, so that it's really clear. But then what we do through a lot of the program is actually then go and just experience the concept. So, you know, if we are looking at the idea of cause and effect, we go and bake a cake, you know, and we look at, okay, what's causing this mixture, you know, or, you know, the cake is now baked as a result of me, you know, putting those ingredients together, mixing them and putting them in the oven. So it's just really bringing these abstract concepts into a concrete form, and just providing a really beautiful framework.
It sounds fantastic. And you in your business work with women specifically, is that right?
Yeah, I mean, not exclusively, but my main clientele are women.
Women.
Yeah, and as I say, you know, autistic women, women who are ADHDers, or maybe dyslexic, or we do also have a maths mastery program as well, that I offer as well.
Fantastic.
So
Yeah. It basically covers it all, doesn't it, really?
pretty much, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for speaking with me today, Mel. And I hope that if people are listening, that they will go to the ARC Education NZ and have a look in the directory under specialist teachers, and find you there and contact you. Just one last question before we say goodbye. Do you work online as well as in person, or is it exclusively in person?
No, there is the option to work in person or online. And you know, the other, just very quickly before we go, the other arm of my business, so one arm is the one-on-one individual programs, but I do also offer workshops as well. So
fantastic.
Those are mainly done online these days. Yeah, there's lots of options.
Awesome. So if you have anything to do with neurodiverse children, or even you are neurodiverse yourself, you would be the person to contact. Thank you so much for being on here with us today, and I look forward to hearing from you again soon. Thanks.
Thank you very much for having me, Kelly.